When it says your 7 iron video is ready, this message has no content. What does that mean?
Shared a video with you, view your video, preview the video online. Have you got to look at it or?
No,
Okay.
I haven't been able to get that far.
Okay.
Barely, I was right there.
Yeah. It's okay.
So that's it.
That's it, and then we'll take a look at it and see if I can download it. Okay, there's a slow-mo video for it and all that stuff. Yeah, no, just go through. It's because it comes through an app, so that's why it's not, you don't see the content in the actual email, but it's there. So I was going to ask you, Dad, how you're feeling today. Day 7 of your treatment. This is 7 in a series of, gosh, I don't know, maybe about 60 or so.
Yeah, I feel kind of a lightness, which is lifting of the pain. I'm surprised when I get up to walk that I'm still hunched over, because I feel better than that sitting down or lying down. So I guess that's got a ways to go. What would you expect getting this far into it? But the pain that is always there seems to be less
Okay.
pervasive.
Yeah.
And that's particularly surprising. And then I had some golf balls yesterday.
How was that for you, hitting the golf balls?
Well, I felt still pretty uncoordinated, but I felt I learned something. I think you can put a Band-Aid on my swing. I hope that's not turning the club over like that is not the answer.
Right. But that's what it felt like, at least immediately. It was like a quick fix.
Yeah, just to get me hitting it, making contact.
Well, because the game of golf, and certainly the golf swing it's a big part psychological. Do you think that's a place to start?
Yeah.
Because you talked about, I mean, where we were at a couple weeks ago was golf's not fun anymore.
Yeah, I've got an idea that I can hit the ball now. I hit the ball like I haven't hit it in a number of years. Really solid and really straight.
And that makes you feel how?
Hopeful.
Make you feel like you want to play the game more?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom had mentioned, I talked to her yesterday, that you felt kind of embarrassed out there on the course.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Holding guys up. I was topping shots. I mean, it doesn't even look like a golfer. I'm sure I'm making a bigger deal of it than they are. But maybe not.
What does that mean to not look like a golfer in the world of Dan Cochran? What if you don't look like a golfer anymore?
Well, then I won't play golf.
And then what if you don't play golf?
I'll find something to do. Twerk.
At some point for everybody, I was talking about this again with Mom last night, we have to give up whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I face that, and in my own life that I don't play basketball like I used to.
Yeah.
And it still haunts me. I feel like I can, but I know if I really go after it, I'm probably going to pay the price.
Yeah.
So at some point you won't be able to play golf. But what Mom was suggesting was that you've got this incredible knowledge and certainly passion for the game. Is there another way to be involved that still is satisfying to you, and keeps you engaged and allows you to use some of that tremendous knowledge you've acquired over the years?
Yeah, she said the same thing to me. She thinks I ought to be an instructor. I don't think I think I know some things, but I don't think I know enough to do that.
What do you think the threshold is to become an instructor of value?
Well, probably some professional training
To do what?
to have some sort of structure where you pass along knowledge.
Well, I mean, as you know, I've been a teacher now for 5 years.
Yeah.
And, similarly, I wondered about that because I took some teaching training courses in college when I thought at one point about being a high school teacher. You know, did what classroom teachers do. You study the theory of it a little bit. You go out and you observe in classrooms. But to me, I don't think there's anything that isn't. It's nothing you haven't already done. That it's observation and sharing said observations. If you know have taken lessons and you have a good eye, and then I think what it comes down to is a desire to share that knowledge, to say, you know what, this is what I see, and I think you may find value in it. You know, it sounds to me like it's a confidence thing with you, that you don't feel confident that what you have to offer would necessarily be beneficial.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
In you know, in the brief time I've experienced it, and again, Mom was mentioning it yesterday, when you've offered it to me, and it's only been because I've asked, and she said the same with her, that you would never offer unless you're asked. The small things were very beneficial. But this is a place to find value, and that's part of what I hope to do with you, is to increase the number of areas in your life that you find value, and ways that you can share said value. Because I think, you know, we talk about blockages in the body, and about accomplishing flow, you know, to greater health. Well, one of the things is, if you've taken in all this knowledge but you're not giving it out, or exercising it in a certain way, that you're kind of blocking it. It's going nowhere inside of you. But if you've got another way to share it, and it doesn't just filter through you, but it filters through other people, and you know, you in return get thanks, get gratitude, get whatever, there's validation in that, and there's you see the flow once again is happening. You know, I can tell you, I know from what I teach at school, you know, having done film work now for 20 years, that I get crises of confidence all the time in the classroom. It's my biggest fear, to be up there in front of the class and have one of them turn to me and just go, "You're full of shit," or, you know, I mean, I've never. Who gave you the right to say these things? What makes you think this is the way to do things? And it's terrifying. But at the same time, you know, when I see the reaction or hear the reaction from the students saying, "Oh," or "I didn't think of it that way," or they nod and go, "That's right. That's what I thought too." So either validating or offering something of value to them, I know I'm on a good place, and it's a good exchange for me. It helps me take my value as a filmmaker, which I know I've talked to you before about, and give back. So I'm not giving you the hard sell on teaching here in particular, just more about, like I said, finding value.
Yeah.
You know, because I think you have tremendous value, more than you probably give yourself credit for. And I think my one of my biggest concerns is to not see you kind of holding up with Parkinson's as you go forward with your life, regardless of Parkinson's. That, you know, one of the nice things golf does is it forces you to be social. And, you know, it's not a seemingly natural state for you. Since you don't have work, you don't see people that way. You know,
Yeah.
and the pain is going to, you know, prohibit you from wanting to do it. If we can relieve that pain, I would love to see, you know, for you more mental flow, more societal flow in that sense, to give you again more that's quality of life too.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know.
Well, that's certainly what golf has become. Less of a sport and more of a social thing.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
What were your dreams or thoughts about golf at various times in your life?
Shooting low scores, starting off. It's always been social. Just enjoying being out in the what is a nice place to be. I really like walking. I miss that.
Yeah.
Maybe I get back.
Yeah,
I
walking.
know that's okay too, but I really like walking in Caribou Bay.
When did you discover that walking was a nice, I mean, not just in golf, but walking was a nice thing for you? Do you?
It must have been a long time ago. I've always enjoyed it. I always enjoyed the mobility, the freedom.
You can get farther than you think you can by walking if you allow yourself to do it. I think it's a lost form for a lot of people. You know, I took a walk the other day just because my car was getting repaired and I had nowhere to go. And I knew there was a Del Taco. It was a mile away. And my first thought was to call Anna Maria, and I did actually, but she was busy. And then I went, well, am I just going to sit here? I said, no. I've got time. And I've got feet. So I took a walk, you know, and it was, 15 minutes each way. It was a nice walk. It was a really nice, I had nothing to do, no one to talk to in this particular case. But I really enjoyed that walk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to take for granted, but as you get older, it's more obvious that it shouldn't be taken for granted. It can be taken away any time.
Like anything else, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of, I know Chris and Julie seem to be on a similar pattern, and I'm working that way, and that's part of the book I'm writing, the JoJo and Lenny book too. It's about simplification to be able to add value to what is there, and therefore have, less, it's kind of like shaping up your portfolio, basically less vulnerability, because if you're spread out all over the place, it's easy to get picked off, as opposed to having less things, not only minimal, but having fewer things that you put more value into.
Yeah.
Take better care of. Did you see what the A's did last night?
Yeah, 11-1 or 11-0.
Yeah, smoked them.
Just don't know what they're gonna do next.
You sound nervous.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't count on them.
Yeah. Except to be there.
They'll be there,
It's funny to say that about a team with perhaps the best record in baseball.
yeah. Yeah. They get your expectations up pretty high.
Then what?
Mine they do.
Yeah. Would you be shocked if they won the World Series this year?
Yeah. Pleasantly.
Not willing to go there with your hopes yet, right?
Hopes, yeah. Sure.
But not going to buy tickets right now?
I don't care about buying tickets.
How about if Howard has some for you?
No. That's giving them. That's okay.
You've been to an A's playoff game, haven't you? Or was it just the week of when they beat Texas to go to the playoffs?
We did that. I don't know if I did no playoff game.
I've never been. I've been to some pretty raucous games.
Oh boy. Those last two games were just so much fun. They were more fun than a playoff game, I think.
It was nuts.
Because they were just spontaneous.
And it was so unexpected. Texas just folded.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy. That was wild. Yeah, they made up, four games in a
We
week?
just happened to have tickets.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're going to this game. That stadium must have been just so loud.
Oh, it was loud. It just went from the first pitch or before the first pitch to the last.
Yeah, people just screaming their heads off.
Yeah. Letting it all hang out.
That's one of the reasons to go to the game. What do you think about the possibility, making sure we're still recording here. What do you think about the possibility of us not making it to the stadiums this year?
That's okay. I think you got a lot on your plate. And whether it's 10 years or 11 years or whatever it is, yeah, I think you got your priorities. Family first.
Yeah, it's it was one of those things that just kind of came to me all at once, and I just said, it's not a decision necessarily, but it's just an observation of a possibility. The window's still there.
Yeah.
But, like I said, it's about putting time in and where I want to put the value. And I was saying that again to Chris yesterday. I said, I've got this unbelievable thing of you being around for 2 months the way you are. That's where I want to focus on. If we get out there, that'd be great. I'd love it to happen, but I don't want to sit here and go crazy trying to figure out how to make the money in the meantime. It's like, let's handle this. I'll keep doing the things I'm doing, and it doesn't mean I won't be working on it, but, I guess I'm just not going to be as tied to the outcome. This is enough.
Yeah.
And this is growing, this containable thing. Like we say, adding the golf, adding the meditation, adding these pieces that are all right here for us in the valley.
Yeah.
So we'll keep pushing along and doing our part.
If it falls in place, it falls in place.
Right. Exactly.
I think that's very good.
Me too. What do you think about going to Giuseppe's graduation tomorrow?
It's he sure looks older than he is in that gown.
Yeah. I kind of, I could easily laugh and make fun of it, the idea of, what is this kindergarten graduation? But, that's the external process. When I first saw that picture of him, I just started bawling. I tear up thinking about it right now. That when he does whatever kind of formality, ritual that we attach certain things in life to, and obviously I've got a very personal feeling about, education, and knowing that he has done well, and how thankful, too. I know I've said this, but it bears repeating. I am to you and Mom for investing in that in both his and Francesca's life. That they're not just at some daycare; they're at a school that's, helping them become the best them they can be.
I do too, you're right.
Yeah, because you're giving them a chance, right?
Yeah.
I hope you feel that when you go there. I hope you know how much it means. You're saying yes to that.
Yeah.
And I hope you see that tomorrow when you're there.
Sure will.
Yeah.